As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because He was my friend. But then instead of leaving Him in peace to work alone, I hung around and tried to help with ways that were my own. At last I snatched them back and cried, "How can you go so slow?" "My child," he said, "what could I do? You never let them go." That's a story called Broken Dreams. I don't know who wrote it, but I found that at the chapel at St. Greg's last week, so I brought it here to read to you. Greetings and blessings, dear friends in the Spirit 111. It is Eddie Louisi. How are you? So today I'm calling this talk Spiritually Evolving. And as you notice behind me, I got rid of this drape, which was covering all my old kid stuff, and I'm showing it. So let me know if you like it or it's a distraction, but this is my office. My office, my music studio. And I haven't been really writing lately, but I will be. So I'm calling this Spiritually Evolving. And let me read something from the Daily Word, Unity. Spiritual evolution. I am continually evolving. Part of growing older is growing wiser, and I continue to grow in awareness every day. I am not the same person today as I was 10 years ago. Some beliefs and understandings I held close at one time have evolved. Spiritual awareness requires that I see with new eyes. When I observe difficulties or loss, I look beyond these to the seeds of new possibilities. I hold to my faith that greater good, something greater can come from the challenges I face. Spiritual evolution may develop slowly over time as a dawning recognition, or it may be a flash of new understanding. I am continually evolving. And from 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. Well, I'm 59 years old. I don't know if I put an end to childish ways, but I have evolved. I evolved spiritually. You know, I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy. I played in the folk mass back in 1972. Were any of you alive in 72? Were born yet? But yeah, and I am continuing. I am still evolving each and every day. So, and dear friends in the Spirit, I love when you send me messages and you send me posts because you help me on my path, on my journey. So, how was your week? I'm going to just say a few things about my week and read a few more things, and then I'm out of here. On Monday morning, our dog Mary, I think we mentioned Liz and I, she was having surgery. So she was at the doctor's office from 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., but everything was successful, and we got her home. And Liz has been fabulous with her. So Liz has been nurturing her and giving her ice and medicine and massaging her and then walking her. She had surgery on her leg, so she's doing well. All you animal lovers out there. On Tuesday, I met a friend through the wellness universe, Robert Alexander, and we emailed in the morning. He's an audio alchemist, digital sound therapist, a bunch of other things too. But then later on, I emailed Jay DeMarcus of the Rascal Flats, and I told you he has his own Christian record company. And in my email to him, I said, "How may I help you?" I said, "I know you know a lot of people, but maybe there's somebody you don't know or some that I know, or maybe there's something that I could do for you." So I think, friends in the Spirit, we could always try to help others, no matter how huge they are, if they're celebrities or not. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs a friend in the Spirit. So, so I sent that out to him. We'll see what happens. But and then I read my daughter Olivia's Facebook posts about Emerson College and her fall schedule. So this is all going to come together. But basically, you know, when you have a child in college, you have 4 kids, and you have mortgages, all that, we all know we have bills and we have lots of things. So being a normal father, dad, husband, I have money concerns and all that too. But I'm chatting with these 2 music people in the hope of something better happening with my life that I could help my family with. I see Olivia's post about Emerson and her schedule. I'm driving. I'm driving after work. I'm driving in my car to my tax accountant. Okay, this year I was a little late with the income taxes, but I look at the clock and it's 11:11 a.m. And then I look at the track number because I had a CD inside my car. Do any of you still have CDs? It was track 11. And then the end time, so I must have played it earlier and I stopped it. The end time was 01:01. So I had all these ones, all these, friends in the spirit 111 signs. Financially signs that things are going to be okay. And I don't know what you're going through financially or physically, mentally, but things will be okay. We just have to trust God. And hopefully some of these prayers I'm going to read to you will help you too. But I got a little affirmation that day. The next day, Wednesday, on the set of GMA, Good Morning America, there's a big weather wall, right? And we do a whole half hour of the show. It's around 7:30, and all of a sudden I see a dime right on the floor. I'm saying, okay, that wasn't there before. Now, the dime for my family is Liz's mom, Trudy, called her Nana, and the dime for the Kinnear family is Terry. And when Terry was sick, my wife whispered in her ear, when it's time to go, Trudy's going to be there and she's going to be with you. So we feel a nice heavenly connection between those 2 beautiful ladies. So I see the dime there. Show's over, right? I went to the Episcopal Church on 46th Street to donate some food there. And I come back and I said, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go to Guitar Center and just check out some guitars. I don't have any money to buy any, but I figured I'll check them out. There's a guy outside and he says, you have a dime? Now, I haven't heard that in years, right? That was like, hey, brother, do you have a dime? That was like almost, years and years ago, right? Can you spare a dime? I walked by him and I went down to Guitar Center, but I'm thinking, okay, nobody asked for a dime. Nana, Terry are dimes. I just saw a dime there, and I had that dime in my pocket. So my initial thought was, I'm going to go to the Guitar Center, come up and give the guy a few bucks and the dime. I come out, he's still there. Do you have a dime? I said, I do have a dime. I took out the dime. He opened up his hand, and he had a bunch of dimes. And he was so happy. And there was something mentally challenging with him. But he was so happy with that dime. Was that a sign from God? Was that a God wink? Was that some type of connection? Because monetarily, that dime really wasn't going to get him much, right? And then I called up my stepfather, not my stepfather, my father-in-law. We call him Boppy, the big bopster. He calls and he's asking about, the kids and family. And I tell him our son Andrew is in Montreal. And he said, Montreal? He said, did you know that Nana and I did our honeymoon in Montreal? I said, no, I didn't know that. So dime in the studio, young man outside, hey, do you have a dime? And then my father-in-law saying, Nana in Montreal. So all different signs that Nana, you're around. You're close to our heart. You're watching over us. Another sign, things are going to be okay. And there are tons of other things going on in our life. But so things aren't perfect in my life, friends in the spirit. Trust me. But I love God. I love my family. I love my faith, my family, my friends. So I love you guys, right? You're my friends. This is from Feast and Fasting. Remember that little booklet I showed you at the beginning of Lent? What Are You Saying to Yourself by Martha Smock. Do you like when I'm close like this? Do you like me further back? Close, back. Let me know. And let me know about the background. Is that distracting? Or do you want that other curtain? Okay. What kind of conversation do you carry on with yourself? What are you saying to yourself right now? If you find your inner conversation with yourself running along negative lines, you have the power to change the subject, to think along different lines. This is where affirmations of truth are wonderfully helpful. An affirmation of truth can be like a conversation piece around which your thoughts center. An affirmation says simply and clearly that which is true and gives your thoughts a pattern, as it were, to follow. You can change your life by changing the way you think and feel. You are doing this day by day, thought by thought, as you watch the kind of conversation you have with yourself, as you answer any tendency to be negative or fearful or depressed with positive, healing, powerful reminders of truth. How awesome is this? A few of you have shared that this has been a depressing week, so God bless you all. Change the negative into positive, healing, powerful reminders of truth. You are loved. Loved by me. Loved by God. Loved by your family. Loved by your friends. Loved by yourself. If you are ever tempted to say to yourself about some situation that looks impossible of solution, turn your thinking around and say to yourself, I have faith that with God's help, there is a way for this situation to be solved for the blessing and benefit of all. Do not carry on conversations with yourself that downgrade your worth and ability. Trust me, I feel that way lots of times. I feel worthy to do these videos. Am I nervous sometimes in the morning when I do this and stressed? Yeah. But think positively, right? Ed, think positively, Ed. Do not think of yourself as lacking in ability or as inferior to others. Affirm, I am the all-wise, all-loving, all-conquering child of God. I reign supreme in all the affairs of mind and body. You may think you are unable to forgive the past, but Christ in you is able. Christ in you sets you free. You can find peace in the present through affirming, through the forgiving love of Jesus Christ. I am set free from mistakes of the past. I accept forgiveness. I forgive myself and others. I set my face in a new direction. Look at his face with the beard. Keep your mind stayed on God. Keep your mind stayed on truth. Thought by thought, let your inner conversations be as with the Christ, the God self of you. Wow, that was great. Thank you, Martha Smock. And this is from Unity, Daily Word. And that was from Unity too. I love Unity, Science of Mind. Great stuff. New ideas. I am open to new ideas, new insights are revealed to me. Each day presents me with opportunities to grow. My interactions with others, my response to whatever situation I encounter, can lead me to transformation and renewal as I approach them from a spiritual perspective. I increase my understanding as I contemplate the events of the day. Any situations that bothered me did so for a reason. And as I reflect on them, I open myself to deeper understanding. When I place myself on as an observer level, I can step back and think objectively. I may be able to more fully understand another's words or actions and find it easier to forgive. By doing so, I gain new revelations into my thinking processes and my spiritual nature. I grow spiritually, cultivating better relationships with others. This is from 3 Minutes a Day, my friends at the Christophers. A springtime harmony. The flowering of the woods in spring may seem haphazard, with each plant just doing its own thing. But botanists tell us the process is as carefully orchestrated as a symphony. Flowers appear first on the small plants near the ground. These always bloom early before the taller plants above them put out flowers and leaves and shut out the sun. Then in orderly succession, buds next unfurl on the scrubs, then low trees, and finally the tallest trees, timed in perfect harmony. We too need to be governed by harmony with ourselves, with others, and with God. Health, happiness, and spirituality are interrelated. Let us seek to live in the harmony that God offers us all. And from Job, I think, 22:21. Agree with God and be at peace. In this way, good will come to you. And a little prayer. Prince of Peace, how can I be at peace with myself and others? Isn't that awesome? I know there are lots of people, and I'm sure not you guys, that don't believe in God, don't believe in something beyond us, but there are so many things in this world that are absolutely perfect. God created them all. We are perfect. I mean, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but when I read stuff about the human body and blood and oxygen and how the organs work, it's like, it's perfect. It's perfect. When you're not feeling well, go within, pray, do what Liz did, put your hands on your heart and just close your eyes and heal yourself. Sometimes lately, the older I am, I eat certain foods and I get this really bad heartburn and stuff, and I just close my eyes and put my hand and I just calm myself down and calm things down without taking a bunch of pills. Okay, from Science of Mind. They're part of Centers of Spiritual Living. It's up to me. The book The Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown is one of my favorites, filled with metaphysical messages. So I give you a little bit of everything here, friends in the spirit. In one scene, Brown describes how the 15-year-old future Olympic gold medalist Joe Rance arrived home after school one day to find the family vehicle packed and running with his half-siblings and stepmother inside. His father waited for him on the porch to tell him that although the family was moving, his stepmother would not have Joe come along. With that, Joe's father got in the car and drove away. Stunned, Joe spent a rainy night fearful and alone. It wasn't the first time he had been rejected and left to fend for himself. He wanted to stay curled up in bed, but after fixing himself breakfast, he had the powerful realization that he had two clear choices. He could remain in the hurt, blame, and self-pity, or he could choose to make his own happiness regardless of any hurtful experiences and hardships he had endured thus far in life. Rance worked, finished school, and went on to become a champion rower. This decision altered the course of his life. Rance set a great example of boldness, creativity, determination, and responsibility. He chose to stand in a place of power, not victimhood. He inspires us to ask ourselves where we can take a stand for happiness in our own lives. Releasing the self-imposed bonds of blame and hurt. The affirmation: I choose each and every day to operate from the awareness that my own happiness is self-generated and completely independent of what goes on outside of me. Wow, right? That's going within, that's meditating, that's putting your hands on your heart, that's closing your eyes, that's taking walks at the park, on the beach, that's going on a treadmill in the gym, or, finding happiness in, forget about the outside. I remember a story, I read something, a little analogy about a boat in the ocean, and it's moving in the big waves and stuff. It's kind of like an analogy of our lives. We're the boat, and the waves are life and things that are crashing against us. But the center of the boat, that's the calm. That's the calm, right? That center doesn't move as much, and that center is protected from the outside. So that centers our heart, God within, right? Some faiths say, we're the temple of God, All right, so I'm going to read one quick little thing, and then I'll be out of here. From Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God. On this day of your life, I believe God wants you to know that progress is not measured in miles, it is measured in inches. Do not wonder why things are taking so long. In fact, everything is rolling out exactly as it needs to, using not a minute more than perfection requires. Rest easy and be at peace. Okay. I'm at peace. Life is working its magic even as you take your very next breath. There, see? You could almost feel the perfection, couldn't you? Dear friends in the spirit, you are perfect. I'm perfect. We're perfect children of God. We're perfect expressions of God. We're light, we're love, we're peace, we're happiness, we're joy, we're kindness. That's what we are. So no matter what you're going through, and sometimes it's weeks, it's months of some rough times. Sometimes it's just minutes or seconds. But know that you are loved. Know that you have the love of Christ, love of God inside of you. You have that peace anytime you need to get it, Try to think, try to stop first and think and breathe before the next stressful things happens, before the next time you might want to yell or say something or do something that you're going to regret later. And remember, we are all spiritually evolving, right? Me too, right? And this has been an awesome little talk for me, because when I read all these different things, I read these throughout the week and throughout the month, and then I put them together. And when I put them together, it's like a second lesson for me too. So I hope you enjoy this. I know some of you say that this little talk is your church. God bless you. Love you all. Hey, Kristen, Mike, Haley, Mikey. So don't forget to share your faith with family and friends. I love you guys. Have a great week, and cue the spirit.